Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we are going to be having a look at the speeder bike and the Scout Trooper from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Now, I'm filming this just shy of a week out of Celebration in London, and this came through this week. Lovely, I've got to say, obviously the card art on this box is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. I mean, obviously they've actually used that Biker Scout and the speeder bike in the image and put a nice sort of background, obviously probably a Photoshop background behind it of essentially what would be Endor. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous image, and it will be interesting to see if we can actually get a figure that sits like that on the bike. Because I've seen the odd other review, and I've had a bit of, I think this has had a bit of a mixed reception. So anyway, the card art looks really, really nice. It does obviously include the one Scout Trooper figure, which is carded. It'd be interesting to see if that's got a specific VC number. It's a bit of a shame, I suppose, if it has in some ways, because it would mean, you know, basically you've then got to go out and actually get this speeder bike. And the cost of this wasn't particularly cheap. I think it was around about 50 UK pounds, which was quite a bit of money. But you know, as I said, it does obviously have the carded figure in there. And there's a lovely image on the bottom there of on the left of the actual speeder bike with the Scout Trooper, and what appears to come with a very nice stand. And you've got the 40th anniversary logo of Return of the Jedi in the top left, and the warning logo in the top right, and just again a slightly different image on that top cover of the actual the Scout and the bike. So let's have a look at the back of the card, or I should say the back of the box. So the image is pretty much the same. I mean, it obviously does have that nice track design, vintage collection logo in the bottom. And the one thing that is sort of quite prominent on this, they have actually made the all that legal information quite small. So that's quite a nice touch. The only other sort of images, nothing on the bottom of the box there, but you do actually have a nice image, if I can bring that in, of, you can get a good look at that, of the Biker Scout looking at the engine of the speeder bike. So all in all, I mean, it's a really nice looking box, let's get this speeder bike and the figure out, and we'll have a look. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that slipped out of the packaging itself. That's obviously how it comes. So you've got the actual Biker Scout. Does look, it's obviously come on, well, I'm not going to say looks like it's come on a flat card, but we need to get that out. But it's quite nicely packed. So what I would say is that theoretically you would hope that you would get a decent card back in there. So anyway, and the actual speeder bike itself comes in that sort of soft tissue paper. So let's get that out. Okay, so here's the actual bike itself out of that packaging, and I don't know what to say really. I don't know quite sure what I was expecting. It does seem a little bit small. I do actually have a Power of the Force one of these somewhere to hand, which I did a video back on not that long ago. But I don't actually have that to hand to sort of grab that to highlight. But I do have this obviously sitting in the that sort of seated position. So one of the nice things that you do get with this is the stand here, this clear stand. You can actually have that in 3 different positions. So you can have it as I've got it sitting there. This second option obviously just has it sort of raised a little bit higher. And I think that's quite, you know, it is quite nice. Obviously the clear stand, I think that does work nicely, and that is a nice design feature. And then the actual third is, you can actually have it properly sort of, I suppose if you want to class it as in flying mode, or speeding mode. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, and that's obviously with it raised much higher. So the stand is a really nice part of this this actual set. The one thing I would say, these legs, if I can move that out of the way and bring it in slightly, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, so if I bring this in so you can actually see, these legs here don't appear to move at all, whether that's right or wrong. or do they? Don't want to go too mad at it. I think they might move slightly. Obviously, there's a little bit of give there. And some nice attention to detail under the actual bike itself. You can see, obviously, you've got that blaster. It's a bit of a shame that, it does, well, I say it turns, it doesn't really turn because it's got that little thing that it's linked into, which is a bit of a shame. But there is some nice weathering on there, if you can see that. And some nice weathering actually on the top of the bike there. If that camera's going to do it any justice. But the other thing I would sort of say and highlight is that, again, these handlebars, if you want to class them as that, they don't move at all either, which is, I suppose, a bit of a shame. Let me just put it back on its stand. It's a bit wobbly because I haven't got it all the way in. So yeah, it's a little bit, what's the right word? Look, there's some nice colouring on it and there's some nice detailing. But it'd be interesting to see if we can actually get a figure to sit on that. Yeah, a little bit underwhelming. Anyway, let's move that out the way for a second, and we'll just bring the figure in and move that camera just slightly so you can see that. So, look, it's a lovely unpunched card. I do believe we've actually had this Scout Trooper before. Seeing other people's reviews, I'm pretty sure that is just a repack of one that we've had previously. And I apologise, I don't actually know which one that was in the line. But it's a nice image on the front of this card that you've got. I mean, it really does scream out, obviously, Return of the Jedi. The nice 40th logo again in that top left, and the warning in the top right, and the Kenner in the bottom there. But it's a good image of the Biker Scout, or the Scout Trooper, as they've got him labelled here. Nice green name pill, and he sits really nicely with that green behind the bubble. So it does actually make the figure stand out quite strikingly. On the back of the card, it is VC273. So again, for you carded collectors, you know, unless they release this part of the line, which, to be fair, they probably will down the line. It's just it is a good way of them, of Hasbro, I suppose you could say, of them, you know, trying to get people to buy it as obviously part of getting the actual speeder bike. However, having said that, you know, at the end of the day, you don't really sort of see in the film too many of these figures without actually being on a speeder bike. So I suppose it does make sense. And as I said, it's a lovely card back, great image, really good thick cardstock. So now, I'm not going to open this one just yet. What I do have is I've got a Black Series Biker Scout figure here that I'm going to just try and get on the speeder bike, and we'll have a look and see how that actually looks. Okay, so that's the sort of image I've tried to sort of go for. The actual figure itself, as I said, this is from the Black Series 3.7-inch line. So I'm not sure whether the actual Scout Trooper, that VC273, as I said, has a little bit more manoeuvrability, but I'm pretty sure I've seen other people's reviews where I think the main issue that you've got with this is because those handlebars here don't actually move, then and I think the same obviously with this sort of piece down here, his the sort of footwells, if you want to class them that, for his feet, you can't quite get that figure to just sit down properly. Now, as I said, I'm not saying that 100% because this is a Black Series figure that I've put in the line here. But I think that actually looks pretty decent. I mean, it's a shame you can't get him down a little bit further. But if you're just having him in a pose like that, sorry, I haven't actually got his weapon there. Let's put that in his boot. There we go. And I'm just, let's see if we can get this on the spinner actually and have a look. Okay, so here we've got him on the spinner. Whoops, I've got him really flying high there. Let's get him. Come on, spinner, away you go. Sorry about that. But yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Certainly, I think that stand, that base, is a really nice feature of this. Because of the actual sort of ball hinge it's on as well, it does mean that you could you can actually get that Biker Scout in some, you know, some decent different poses. And that's a really nice touch. And there is, as I said, there is some really good detailing on the bike. Oh, now my spinner's going to stop. There we go. There is some really good weathering on it. I need to obviously sort of check these back panels, but again, in first impressions, it didn't appear that they would sort of change or come out or anything like that they have in previous versions. But overall, you know, it's a nice looking bike. Is it worth the money? It's an awful lot of money when you think, in comparison, sort of some things that we've had previously, but obviously costs have gone up quite considerably on a lot of these things. And I suppose you could argue it does actually come with that carded figure, which is quite a, you know, it is a lovely looking card back. So I would probably say it's, you know, and again, I know this is only my judgment, I'd probably say it's round about maybe sort of £10 overpriced, but it's a beautiful looking bike. The other feature on it, which I haven't sort of covered in this video, which we can have a quick look at, is meant to be the engine part comes up. So let's have a look at that quickly. Okay, so I've just sort of tried to use the image that they've got sort of on that top of the box with the actual Scout Trooper or Biker Scout, sorry, as I like to call them, and then you've got to look at the engine. The engine compartment itself, as you can see on this is just pretty plain grey. So most of the actual detailing and the weathering is all on the outside. But overall, you know, I wasn't sure what I was going to expect from this. I'm actually really pleased with it. Do I think it's worth the money? I think it's a little bit overpriced, but it is lovely. That stand, to be fair, makes it. It is just a shame, as I said, I'm not 100% sure with that figure. But, you know, you can't, I do know, obviously, having seen other people's videos, you can't necessarily get the figures to sit down correctly, just quite simply because you cannot move these handlebars, which is a tad of a shame, I should say. But the rest of it, other than that, it's good. You know, I did obviously, as you can see, put that Sppeder bike on there. Or I should say, sorry, the Scout Trooper on the bike, and he did look pretty good when you got him in like that flight pose. So, you know, if you can get this this sort of box set, if you want to class it as that at a reasonable price, then I'd certainly recommend it. I think it's a really nice set. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are new to the channel and you want to subscribe, please do. If you've got any questions, any comments about the video, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and the next one's videos probably will be after Celebration. But thanks for watching.